Hey guys, it's Basham here, reporting to you from my awesome gamer chair. So hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about last night's July 28th WWE Raw event. Now it's just going to be a little bit of a ramble, just giving kind of my thoughts, and since it's my first time ever rambling about a wrestling event, I'm going to give my general thoughts on some stuff as well. Because yeah, that's kind of the person I am. Is because I love to ramble, I love to speak, and anybody who listens to me, I owe you big time. Because geez, listening to this is probably gonna be crazy. So let's talk about the show. We're gonna go in order a little bit here, just on stuff that happened, my general thoughts on it. So we basically start with Hulk Hogan is dead, right? Hulk Hogan is dead now. He died of a heart failure, and you know what? Good for him. Well, not good for him. Good for him that he had such an amazing career. Apparently, he was racist. I don't know too much about that, but I will say Hulk Hogan. You know, even if you were racist, like whatever, you're dead, so it's not like you could be racist anymore. So, congrats, man, on a wonderful career, and yeah, the good. All right, see you in heaven, brother, or whatever. So yeah, let's move on. Let's move on from death because it's just really sad. Like, I'm getting really upset just even thinking about the fact that Hulk Hogan is dead. Oh my god. But anyway. So to actually start the show, Jey Uso comes out and he's doing his yeet thing. So Jey Uso, he does a thing where he just waves his arms up and down, and the entire crowd does it. And that's called yeeting. And so he does that for like 15 minutes whenever he comes out. And I was doing that. I was watching it with some friends, Deku and Autumn. Shout out to you guys. I was watching it with some friends over the internet, and I was yeeting for like 5 minutes, and my arms and my breath was out, my arms were about to fall off, but I had to keep doing it for our Lord and Savior Jey Uso, right? He's kind of the GOAT. And we all love that guy. We love that guy so freaking much. And Paul Heyman comes out and he's like, "You're a stupid idiot, Jey Uso," because at SummerSlam, this Raw is kind of a build up to SummerSlam this weekend, by the way. It's the last one before SummerSlam, the second biggest event of the year. So it's a build. It's not. It doesn't necessarily exist on its own terms. It's a build. So Paul Heyman comes out. He's the manager of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. He kind of is their little mouthpiece in that little group of evil characters. And he's like, "You stupid idiot. You think you can team up with Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, against freaking Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker? You're gonna get killed. It doesn't even matter. He's just lying to you. Because Jey Uso and Roman Reigns are family. And they used to feud in the past, but now they're kind of good again. Because Roman Reigns ended up alone at WrestleMania. It's a lot to explain, but I like it. I like that Roman Reigns is basically good again, and I like that Jay is there for his freaking cousin. You know, it's coming back around. It's a good saga of like evil to good, and I like that. And I'm really excited for that SummerSlam match. But basically, not too much happens. They just kind of talk to each other, and Jey Uso's like, "Freak off, you stupid moron! I'm gonna win and kill you." And it's also a preparation for the main event of Raw that night show, which is Jey Uso versus the Bronson Reed. And it's a little bit of it's a tease, it's a preparation, it's a build up to the main event of the build up show. But let's get on to the first match of the night. So the first match of the night was an interesting one. It's a rare form of match called a mixed tag team match, which is basically boys and girls fight each other. But sadly, the boys and girls don't wrestle each other because I guess that would be like weirdly sexual. Instead, it was just whenever the guy would tag in, the other guy would be forced to tag in the match. So it was AJ Styles and the Kabuki Warriors, which is Asuka and Kairi Sane, my two goats, versus Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, and Dominic Mysterio. Now, this is a build up to SummerSlam because Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles are going to wrestle for Dominic's Intercontinental Championship at the SummerSlam. And the thing about this is that AJ Styles has basically been harassing Dominic Mysterio forever because of just he hates him and just wants to get in the ring and kill him and beat him up, right? And it's just beautiful. I love watching AJ just be in random places to try and harass Dominic, basically stalking him. It's weird because Dominic is the evil guy and AJ's the good guy, and yet he's basically harassing him, and nobody cares because Dominic's evil. So what does it even matter? Because freaking AJ, even though he's a good guy, He's crazy, and we just love seeing it happen because we just hate Dominic so much. We hate his stupid mullet. We hate his mustache. We want to see him get beat up. And the reason the Kabuki Warriors are wrestling is because they've been in a little bit of a feud with Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez for the tag team titles, the women's tag team titles on Raw. And so that's why they were wrestling. And Dominic is affiliated with Raquel and Roxanne because they're in the Judgment Day together. So it all works out. It was so weird to see AJ Styles and freaking Kairi Sane and Asuka together. It was so weird, but so funny. And the match was pretty standard affair. Basically, the game plan of the Judgment Day was to keep AJ Styles out of that match as much as possible because Dominic is a scaredy cat, and Dominic freaking knew that he was gonna win, so it doesn't even matter, right? Like, it was bound to happen. So that was kind of the game plan, is to keep the freaking ladies from tagging AJ in. And I feel like Asuka barely got to freaking wrestle. It mostly felt like Kyrie versus Raquel and Roxanne for the match. But it's smart in terms of the storytelling, right? It's smart in terms of the storytelling of like what those characters would have to do to get the win, and they're evil, so they're gonna use weird underhanded tactics, right? So I thought it was pretty awesome. I love watching Roxanne wrestle. I love watching Raquel wrestle because Roxanne's the small one and she kind of has to use weird little tactics, and Raquel's just the powerhouse. And those two as a tag team are excellent. Um, I know that freaking Liv Morgan's injured or whatever because of Kairi Sane, but Roxanne filling in that position really works. I think those two are a better tag team personally. Roxanne and Raquel are a better tag team. Uh, which might be controversial, but I kind of think it's true. So that's just how I feel about that. But yeah, the match kind of goes on, and eventually AJ gets tagged in and just kills Dominic. Like, he literally just kills him dead. And so the implications of that are interesting for SummerSlam because, like, usually that alludes to the fact that Dominic is probably going to beat AJ somehow in terms of some weird way, right? Because AJ just, like, beat the snot out of him and then pinned him. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to handle that at SummerSlam, but it's a good build-up. It gets you excited because it's like, okay, is AJ just going to beat him to death? Is AJ going to be the new Intercontinental Champion? Is AJ going to just beat him up and beat him? I don't think so. I think he retains because I think the Judgment Day having on the championship storyline still has some legs. So I think Dominic is going to somehow find a way to win. That's my prediction for SummerSlam. But we're going to move on to the next match, gamers. The next match is Sheamus fights Grayson Waller, which is kind of like a... There was a little segment of where Grayson Waller walks up to Sheamus and he's like, "You're stupid." And Sheamus is like, "No, I'm not. Let's wrestle." So Sheamus basically kills Grayson Waller. Like, yeah, Grayson Waller has some moments in there where he gets some offense off, but it's really just Sheamus being a powerhouse and killing him with his freaking big clubbing Irish hands. Because Sheamus is just a big Irish man. And the only thing of note, really, about the match, besides it just being entertaining to watch Sheamus wrestle, like, I did like the match just because I like Sheamus. But Rusev comes in and interferes, and Rusev puts him in his freaking submission move to kill him because those two have had a feud. They're 1-1 now. They have a feud. And Sheamus freaking dies. And I was thinking that would lead to a match at SummerSlam. I was hoping between those two because I just think that'd be a really good way to keep the rivalry going, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I just think those two wrestling together is great. I love watching them. I could watch them wrestle forever because they just hit each other really hard, and that's kind of how the match goes. Like, they don't even do anything crazy. It's just boom, 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 get her in there, you know? So that's all I really have to say about that. Next thing that happens in the show is basically Lyra Valkyria talks. Becky Lynch tries to attack her, but then Lyra Valkyria kills her with a kendo stick, which is leading to their match at SummerSlam. No disqualifications, no countouts. So it's really going to be a full-on just chaos mayhem because this rivalry has been going on for so long now, since WrestleMania. So it's really reaching a peak now, and I feel like eventually we're going to get a Hell in a Cell between these two. At least I would hope so. Because it's really reaching a point where there isn't much more that can happen. And since Bayley's been involved with this little rivalry, I think that Bayley is going to do something at SummerSlam to where boom, 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 I cost Lyra this, you know? And Bailey's at a loss now. She has no direction, nowhere to go. She said that in a little promo in the episode as well. So I think she's going to interfere. She's going to do something pretty bad to Lyra. She kind of has to. Maybe she'll ally with Becky somehow. I don't really think that'll happen because they've been kind of down the middle, but I'm excited for that match. Lyra and Becky wrestling together has just been great. I am getting a little tired of it, but it's fine, right? Like, I hope this is the last one between them for a little while at least, you know? And I can handle something maybe towards the end of the year, like give it a few months and then have them kind of feud again. But for now, like I'm excited for that match, man. It's gonna be awesome. I love Lyra, dude. I don't even know who I think will win actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even know, but I'm excited for that match, and that's basically what this ramble is kind of gonna be. Is like, oh, I'm just excited, or I guess it already is that. But oh, I'm just excited for this match. I'm so excited, huh? I'm so freaking excited, huh? But yeah, I mean that's kind of all I really have to say about that part. So it's not a match; it's just kind of a segment. So the next match is an 8-women tag team match that I'm not even really gonna bother to explain that much because I I thought it was probably the best match of the night. Actually, well, I don't know. Yeah, there weren't even that many matches, so actually I don't know about that because of the match after this, but basically it's Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer, Nikki Bella, and Io Sky, who's my goat. Io Sky is literally my goat. I love watching her wrestle. Actually, I am gonna say this is the best match ever, just because I love watching Io wrestle, no matter what. So, yeah, versus 4 other people that I don't even give an F. Naomi, the world champion, who stole it at Evolution from Io Sky, just absolutely freaking took it from her, and I'm so angry about it, but not really, because I love Naomi too. And I love Chelsea Green and her Secret Herbalist. I honestly love 7 out of 8 women in this match, and that's just because I haven't really seen Nikki Bella, right? So I just love all those women, and I loved watching them wrestle because it was kind of a similar way of doing things to the Raquel Rodriguez match I was talking about earlier, where they just tried to keep one person in the whole time so they wouldn't get killed, right? They used all sorts of underhanded tactics, and I love the psychology of that. It felt like Rhea didn't even get to wrestle that much, you know? They just kind of kept destroying Nikki Bella, and eventually it turned into chaos just because there were so many women in the ring. And it also felt like Stephanie Vaquer, who's like literally the hottest thing since sliced bread right now. Everybody loves her to death. Everybody wants her. Barely got to wrestle. It was a lot. Nikki Bella getting beat up and then saved by the other 3, and I think that's a smart way to do it in terms of the storytelling, because like really that realistically in terms of if we're gonna power scale the wrestlers, then they would just kill the other team. The good guys would kill the bad guys, right? In terms of the power scaling, but in the terms of the way the match played out and the stratagem, the storytelling of it, I thought it was excellent. Um, I loved watching Io Sky wrestle. She got to do some beautiful flips. She got, to sell. She got hit a bit. She got to sell. She's a great seller. She's just one of the most beautiful ladies in the world. She's amazing. We got to see Rhea freaking kill other people. I mean, we got to see Stephanie do her famous devil kisses move, which everybody loves. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm not even gonna illustrate what the move is. Just look it up on Google. Cause freak you off, right? Cause freak you off. And yeah, it was a good match. I like seeing Chelsea Green be conniving. Naomi tried to leave at one point because she was just like, frick this. And the good guys won. And I just. So at SummerSlam, this is kind of also a build up. At SummerSlam, it's going to be Io Sky, Naomi, and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. And I'm really tired of seeing Io Sky and Rhea Ripley wrestle each other because they're both good guys. And I love Io Sky, she is my goat. But it is obvious that Rhea Ripley is the far more popular person. And I just don't want to freaking see either of them really lose because I love them both. I would rather just see them both versus bad guys. Like, then I can at least root for somebody, And I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see Rhea get the pin on Io. I don't. Unless Rhea wants to be evil. But it'd be so hard to turn freaking Rhea evil. Nobody's gonna boo her. You know, no one's gonna be like, oh, she's a bad guy. No one's gonna do that. So I don't know. I just don't. I think Naomi retains at SummerSlam. I think she keeps the championship. Um, but yeah, whatever. Like, good, great match. I'm excited for SummerSlam. You know what? Whatever. It is what it is. I just Io's the goat, man. Rhea and Io had a match at Evolution, the event. It was one of the best matches of all freaking time, and that's where Naomi stole the championship. But it was such a great match that I didn't even care. Like, it was excellent, 5-star classic. Everybody go watch that somewhere. It was freaking awesome. I love Io Sky. Frick yes. And the next match, which probably really is the best match of the night, kind of a sleeper, kind of like a sleeper thing, is the tag team championship match for the men. Finn Balor and JD McDonough of Judgment Day fighting against the LWO, the Latino World Order. And I have never really seen these guys wrestle. Like, they don't get put on TV that much. The Latino World Order, that is, they're not really on TV that much, so I'm not too familiar with their game. But after that match, man, they did some sick and crazy moves against the Judgment Day. It was beautiful. They did all four put in a shift. It was an awesome physical freaking match, and I was a little shocked by it. I was a little shocked at how good it was, but it was just great. And I hope that they're able to wrestle a bit more on TV and maybe talk on the mic more so I get to care about their characters because, you know, that's what I want in wrestling because wrestling's storytelling and I want to be able to care about their characters so I can be happy about their victories and I can appreciate their physical talents and in-ring talents. But, yeah, you know, and it was kind of the classic good guys are really good and the bad guys had to cheat to win because two El Grande Americanos came out, so there's two of them now, and we don't even know who the second one. I mean, well, actually, there's only one of them. It's the same guy, huh? But yeah, they caused the match for the Latino World Order because of that whole beef between El Grande Americano and the Luchadors. But you know, it was good. I did like it. I don't really have too much to say about it, just because it was such an amazing, like, it was just a really physical and good match between those four dudes. Like, there's not much else I can really say because it wasn't super heavy with the storytelling. It was more just a great physical performance and lots of cool moves where one guy jumped from one side of the ring to the other and hit him in the corner, hit the guy in the corner. It's called Coast to Coast. It was a great move, dude. So much fun to watch that match. Like, yeah, that is the best match of the night now that I'm thinking about it. And it just kind of is surprising because I didn't expect it to be all that. But it was. It was all that. And that's kind of the beauty of wrestling sometimes because you're like, oh, this person, I've never seen them before. Like, all right, I'm a little bit, they don't even look like that cool. Like, I'm kind of bored to tears. And then you watch them wrestle and you're like, okay, son. Okay, son, I'm familiar with your game now. I'm familiar with your game and I know what you're doing. So it was awesome. Such a fun match to watch. But we move on to a little segment. This isn't a match, but CM Punk is going to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. And they basically just have a few words back and forth with each other, and Punk just destroys him. Like, Gunther couldn't even get a word in. He just completely destroyed him on the mic. The best talker on the mic destroyed him. I can't even really paraphrase his freaking big old monologue because it was too perfect. Like, you better just find it and watch it for yourself. The CM Punk promo he cut on Gunther. He destroyed him. He absolutely destroyed him, made him look like a fool. And I'm really excited for that match. I've seen some people be like, oh, CM Punk and Gunther, like, what a weird pairing. I think it's going to be an awesome match. That's going to be at SummerSlam. I think that's going to be an amazing match, and I'm so excited for it. Because I am thinking that SummerSlam is better in terms of matches than WrestleMania this year was. Like, in terms of just on paper, right? Because the event hasn't happened yet. But on paper, I much prefer CM Punk as an opponent for Gunther than Jey Uso at WrestleMania. I just much prefer that. I just think Punk is the better wrestler. I think he's more charismatic. I like his moveset a lot better. I'm just really excited for that freaking match, man. And Gunther is a great wrestler. Everyone knows it. He's very physical. He just slaps you on the chest really hard. He's amazing. And he's so hateable but likable because of that. And I'm just really excited to see those two throw down. And I don't know that they've wrestled before. I'm not sure. but I know I've never seen them wrestle before, and I'm just excited to see that. It's such a good match. And there hasn't been too much of a build up, only a couple of weeks of them just kind of talking to each other. There's nothing too personal about this besides the championship itself, which is fine. I don't necessarily need a super intense feud all the time, you know. Sometimes I just want to see two guys get in the ring with each other and battle it out. Just because I appreciate them both as talents. And I know them both as talents, so I'm able to be like, okay, well, even though the build isn't necessarily that in depth, we at least got a few things on the mic to where like, okay, there's a reason to fight. You know, they've got a little bit of a beef enough to be like, let's do this thing, let's watch this. So I'm ready for SummerSlam, man. That's gonna be an awesome match. I actually don't know who will win. I'm thinking Gunther wins. I'm thinking that, but I don't know. Maybe Seth Rollins will return from his knee injury to cash in the Money in the Bank, but I don't think so. I think he's going to be out a while longer, and that's okay. Yes, Punk could win. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't know what's going to happen, though. I don't know how anything's going to happen. Because Punk just challenged for the WWE title against John Cena last month, I think, or maybe the beginning of this month. I can't even remember. And he lost that, so I really don't know what's going to happen with this match. He's challenging for the other world title now, and we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for that. It's one of my most anticipated of SummerSlam. Just the idea of seeing those two together is just awesome to me. I don't know, but now we get to the main event of Raw, and it's Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed, as I was talking about earlier, and I wasn't the biggest fan of this because it's entirely build up. It's just entirely getting your whistle wet for SummerSlam. And I don't really mind that, you know, because I am excited. Don't get me wrong. Like, this did increase my excitement level. But on its own, you can't really say much about it, right? So Jey Uso and Bronson Reed battle it out for a while, and it was like, oh, Jay's getting the upper hand. So Braun Breaker comes out to spear him and kill him. And that causes a disqualification, so Jey Uso wins by technicality. But then they just use that to beat up Jey Uso a bunch. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker beat up on Jey Uso to kill him. And then Roman Reigns comes out. And Roman Reigns is like, alright, you ain't gonna mess with my freaking cousin. And so he's good guy, and Roman Reigns also gets beat up by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Now they do get some offense in, obviously. Jay and Roman, that is, but they get beat up pretty bad. And that's a really cool build up to SummerSlam, I think, because it's like, oh my god, like, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are like some of the strongest people on earth. Like, how are Roman and Jay gonna beat this? How are they gonna beat these guys at SummerSlam? Like, how is this even gonna happen? And that's such a good build up to me, because it's like, oh god, like, they might not be able to win. Like, how are they gonna pull this out? What's gonna happen? So on its own, it's like whatever, but as a piece of the puzzle, as a piece of the story, it works well, and it's all gonna come out on SummerSlam, which I will do a ramble on. And it's gonna be super freaking long, but that's fine. But yeah, like, I think, yeah, pretty good Raw overall. Like, it's not my favorite Raw ever, but there's things to think about. You know, there's things to talk about, things to think about. And I'm just excited for SummerSlam. It's really just building my hype for SummerSlam. Seeing Roman get freaking beat up by Braun Breaker. And Braun Breaker is so good at spears, by the way, the wrestling move, the spear. He used it a few times last night, and it was just great. He sells it so... Everyone sells it so well. It's just beautiful. It's just beautifully done. He literally just kills you. That's what he does, is he kills you. And, yeah. And Bronson Reed took off Roman Reigns' J's, and then kissed them and like sniffed them. So basically to say, I own this man. Like, I took off his shoes, I own this man is mine now. And so that's like, you don't mess with a man's shoes. So that's an even bigger build to SummerSlam, because it's like, okay, don't mess with this man. Don't even do it. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. I'm really excited for SummerSlam. I thought it was a decent Raw. The talent's all great. As I kind of said, like, I kind of love every single wrestler who was there last night. And I'm just excited to see what they go on to do at SummerSlam. And I kind of wish Stephanie Vaquer was wrestling at SummerSlam, but that's fine. She's going to have her own title opportunity at Paris on August 31st, I think. So, whatever. You know, it's a build. WWE is a very, like, long-term storytelling process, right? Like, you don't get the full-on experience just from one thing, but I just kind of wanted to ramble about it because that's what I do. I'm the rambler. So, yeah. Peace, YouTube. Ha ha ha.